Lima, Peru.
Yep.
A woman accused of being a witch was burned alive on a bonfire by an indigenous community in the remote part of the country's Amazon rainforest.
Are
A
they
73
I was just about to say,
woman.
are they a civilized or savage culture?
There are no civilized or savage
Oh, okay.
people. There's just other cultures. No, they're fucking savages.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Hugo Mauricio said members of the
Some
tribe community sentenced 73-year-old Rosa Villar Jared, to death over claims she had made people sick through witchcraft. The alleged burning took place on September 20th, but the area was so remote, authorities did not reach it until recently.
Oh, so it happened.
Mauricio said a cell phone video shot by a witness and given to the prosecutors appears to show Villar with her hands tied amid a pile of dry logs and branches. A man bathes the logs and the woman in gasoline, and another man throws a lit match on the bonfire. Villar can be heard screaming. The woman was burned alive because the people accused her of being a witch.
How come the guy with the cell phone wasn't burned as a witch? Because I'm pretty sure that's more witchcraft than maybe making somebody sick.
Yeah, but she's our damn witch, so cut her the hell down.
Like,
Yeah, how
nice.
remote can this place be?
It's
It
in Peru
takes people
somewhere.
to get there, but they got matches laying around. They got gas laying around.
A lot of
Cell
People
phones.
with cell phones laying around. Or in use, rather, not laying around.
A record of the decision to burn Villar at the stake was written by hand in the community's logbook and seen by authorities, Mauricio said. It indicated she was sentenced by a majority vote and the decision was signed by the community leader. The document said her punishment would serve as an example to the community and other communities against this kind of damage. Mauricio, whose Puerto Bermudez district in the central Peruvian rainforest includes 300 indigenous communities, said the accusations of witchcraft are common. In 2015, a pregnant woman in another community was accused of being a witch and beaten so badly she aborted. He said the remote area lacks a strong government presence, with residents having scant access to justice, health, or education.
Yeah, that's probably all
Which should be apparent by the fact that they still believe in
burning
witches.
witches. Yeah.
Well, I would beg to disagree on one of those points. They have access to justice.
Oh yes. Well, they showed.
Mob rule.
Well, I don't know
their
if that's
justice.
justice.
That's
That's
democracy.
their
in its ultimate-
version
That
of
is
justice.
that is
That's
I'm
their
going to
justice.
disagree with you that justice is subjective.
no. I'm not saying it's subjective necessarily, but their community, their culture, their society, which obviously does not interact with the whatever country that they
Peru.
supposedly are in.
They're not
Peru.
as much. Yeah. It's probably
Well,
all
as
it's
much
all,
or if at all.
oh, if at all.
See, this is
Well,
why
their cell phones.
This
they
is why
do.
I disagree that we just have other cultures, because I think some people are savages and these people are
Yes.
it.
Okay. All right.
Because there's no cultural understanding of justice that I need to care about. That's wrong.
They need to get them a constitution.
If they had oil underneath that thing, that would bring them some fucking freedom, goddamn.
Peru. There
They
might be
might.
some oil there.
No, seriously, it's not. They don't have justice. That's not justice.
If you ask the
According
people
to whom?
there if justice
According
had
to
been served.
definition of justice,
which is
look that
That
up.
was just justice.
Just behavior or treatment. Quality of being fair and reasonable. Administration of law or authority in maintaining this.
well, the authority
Is the Peruvian government.
is it?
Yeah, because the people are being investigated by the cops, so obviously they have authority. And a crime obviously was committed, or there
Ooh.
wouldn't be police there investigating.
Because whenever you say tribe, I think Indian, and I think reservation and sovereign nation. This is not that.
This is not
The
that.
tribe is part of Peru. They
But
don't have
even-
their own land.
For the record,
I was just about to say, well, what happened
even
this
if
shit
they
happened,
burned
like,
witches
on
on a reservation, they would send federal cops in to investigate. Wisconsin may not have jurisdiction, but the federal government still
Yes,
does.
they do.
And that shit would not fly. So look up what just means, please, because apparently just behavior
that's
or
not gonna
treatment.
work. Yeah, you're gonna have to qualify.
Yeah, it'd be
that,
like
'cause
behavior.
Just you're not gonna go the way.
That would
you
be
want it to.
treatment. I'll do treatment.
You just go to dictionary.com and look up
No,
just.
okay, that works fine. Oh, there we go. Merriam-Webster.
I'll trust
Do
Merriam.
you like Merriam-Webster? Okay. Just making
They're
sure.
not Oxford, but they've been around for a while. Agreeing with what is considered morally right or good, treating people in a way that is considered morally right, reasonable or proper.
Morals are based on your circle of people.
No, that's ethics.
Oh no, you're right. Isn't moral your own?
Go ahead.
moral code?
Go ahead and look up moral code.
Okay.
What is this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I get the blue
Don't
file?
trip over anything. Moral code.
A written, formal.
Written, formal, and consistent
Okay.
set of rules
Go
prescribing
back 1 second to the previous definition, if you
Good.
could.
By a
Just-
person or a group
Whoa,
of
whoa,
people?
whoa.
or a group of people.
Because
No, I think I might have clicked.
No,
it
but
twice.
Ben, where
just
you're-
is what we want.
Yeah, you missed something though.
There's no the word code isn't in there. Look up moral.
in
Yeah,
this
go
one
ahead. That's going to be worse for
wasn't
Right, look
just
up
moral. Only moral. Okay.
you. Mm-hmm.
Because moral code is a written code. Right or wrong behavior, goodness or badness of human character. Holding or manifesting high principles for proper conduct.
That morals. That's the story version of it. That's fine. A person's.
So I don't
standards-
think you can say that burning a witch is justice in any
What's
regard.
number 2 down there
I was
saying?
just the
A
second.
person's
definition
standard
on
of
now.
behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do.
They believed it was acceptable to burn the witch.
Synonyms: moral code, code of ethics,
Oh,
values.
we're going
Just the
back
moral
there.
code,
See,
that
your
was it.
problem is that remember how we were on the how the English language is degraded to a point where it really isn't usable anymore. So, and we brought up irregardless, right?
Irregardless and regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Ethics and morals.
Well,
They have no deference in them anymore.
Well,
Well,
I understand, but
now you and I
Yes,
know what
there's a
the difference.
I'll say Ben loves his story about the lawyer with
But-
morals and ethics.
but what
now,
they did is
go
not
ahead
just.
and look up.
Oh,
Well,
you
it
look
is
up-
by definition.
I don't give. Then I reject your definition.
It's not mine. It's
It's I think
Fuck
this is
Merriam and
I was about to
Webster,
say.
then.
I think this is Merriam-Webster
Fuck them
right here.
both. Because
that is
burning
the
a witch
justice.
is not justice. Burning because they didn't have a trial.
First
There's
of all,
no
Oh,
evidence.
whoa! Did they not?
they did have a trial.
Well, they voted that she made people sick.
Did she weigh
using
less than a
witchcraft.
duck, though? Or sorry, did she float?
We don't even know if they weighed
I
her.
would say, did they see if she floated?
I don't know that. They didn't
I'm
even
not
weigh
saying
her.
that,
They
that
just
was
voted.
probably the right thing for her to do, but
Well, that's the thing.
You
if
said
she
that they
burns,
had
she's not really a
justice.
witch, isn't it?
well,
I
in
think
there-
that was the whole thing. Was if you burn, you're not a witch.
No, you cleanse them with fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're cleansing
I
their
thought
soul
that was
with
No,
fire.
Monty
No.
Python.
Well, that's
Oh yeah,
also,
if she burns, she's made out of wood and then not a witch. Yeah, you're right.
And if she doesn't drown, she's a witch. If she drowns, she's not a witch.
Right.
And oh no,
That worked.
that works.
But I just don't see burning people at the
Give me this
stake
one.
as it's not just. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Well, it's actually cruel and not at all unusual enough punishment.
I guess ethical. Or
Ethics.
Ethics. Yeah,
It's
you're
different.
right. You're right. Ethics. That's what I was looking for.
Moral principles.
Yeah, look at that. They used moral right in there. What do you know? Ugh.
now there is a different. Let me rephrase. There used to be a difference between morals and ethics, but our society is so lost that it does not know what they are anymore, as you can see.
Is this still the
But-
witch burning?
Yeah. What's this? Yeah.
That
this
was witch burning.
Oh, that was the witch burning.
Yeah, that was
Which
Tim's
was
witch burning story.
in the middle of Peru, where a village burned a witch.
I think it's odd that there is a witch burning in 2016.
I don't. It depends on how remote they are versus civilization.
Do you know how many times?
Well, that can't be that remote. There was
There's
cell
I
phone.
know there's a cell phone there, but there's very few places on this earth that a cell phone has not been.
Yeah, but if you go to Africa, and some Middle Eastern countries, women are put to death for being raped
Yes.
daily.
There was.
No one's recording that on.
There were-
That's totally fucked
Well,
up.
there's another.
Well,
fucking,
no, but
there's-
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're going to go out there, I mean, this is the reality of the world that we have all the time. You don't see that put on the international news either.
It should.
Maybe
well,
they
this
took maybe they took away all their cell phones. I don't know.
I'm sure like the Aborigines and people like
Right. So the person who was videotaping that, why didn't they help the person that was being burned? If they
like if they're like doing documentaries and shit like that, they can't interfere. They won't.
No, they can choose not to interfere. You know the beautiful thing about Star Trek's non-interference policy? You know the Prime Directive?
that they
It is
They
only
always
ever
break it.
honored in the breach. The only time we ever talk about the Prime Directive on Star Trek is why it's okay to violate it just this one time.
Well, that's the only time they ever bring it up. That is
And-
what the Prime
or,
Directive is for.
Or if one of Kirk's people creates a Nazi culture, and then they talk about how it's bad to violate the Prime Directive by emulating the Nazis.
That's not the one where they go into the what's it called? The simulator thing?
No,
Yeah.
they go to a planet. Kirk and Spock
Oh, did they actually go to a
go
planet
to a
in that
planet
episode?
where a Star Trek ship
Yeah.
crashed.
Oh, I remember.
and they made-
I've seen the pictures of them in the fucking Nazi car.
Yeah, and somebody
And the
emulated
swastikas.
Nazi Europe on the planet because
I haven't seen that in ages.
So I'm going to give this a 2.5 star rating
Okay.
for this reason.
okay.
First of all, I think it was terrible that the woman was burnt.
Well, yeah.
But
I'll burn something
I find it fascinating if you think about what the story is really talking about. So people are going to be outraged by the woman being burnt to death because, as one of
people in
more
more
size-
advanced societies are. Or
It's
different,
not that
sorry, not
necessarily.
even that more advanced.
But-
Different societies.
because there's a government there and the government's looking into it, and who knows what'll happen, right?
Probably nothing, but
But
Probably.
in the same story, it's said that there is no law enforcement or justice
Right,
that's
there's
even
300
given
different
to those
tribes in
people. So those people, by that right, by the right to live, okay, have a right to govern themselves if no one else is going to provide government for them.
it's part of the problem with democracy
Yeah.
is sometimes people make choices we don't agree with.
That was
Right.
That was gonna be my point.
So they, again, I don't agree that with the fact of witchcraft and
Yes.
what they did to her.
But
But if that's their beliefs, as backwards as we may or may not think that they are, and their government then they should have a presence with those people to either teach them or train them properly. But they have chosen not to. So, quite frankly, in my opinion, the village has a right to govern themselves. Then
I agree.
I mean that's what's
I
interesting
agree.
me. Again, aside from the fact that they probably should have been doing that, but they didn't.
But they didn't.
But and this would be a non-factor if somebody didn't record it. If somebody
yes.
witnessed it
Yes.
and went and told the government, they would never
Nothing
probably
would've
even
fucking
gone to
happened.
investigate.
Since
But
there
because
was
it
a
was
cell
on
phone there.
because it was
Because
a
there's a
video
picture
and somebody
accompanying the
released it and
That's
it
the
made
reason.
it to some news thing, now it's a big deal.
Yep.
Should have been, again, not saying
Otherwise,
that, but
yeah.
that's why I give it 2.5 stars because I find it very interesting with our.
I'm going to give it 3 shits for the same reason because I think it exemplifies how poorly managed some countries that we don't consider third world. Because I don't really think Peru's a third world country, is it?
I will check.
They might be second world, but I don't think they're third.
Well, also, what are the definitions of first, second, and third
Well,
world
of course you
country?
have to spell country.
Shut up.
Peru is a third world country. Oh.
It is a third world country. Whoop. Areas overridden with poverty, crime. Yet, where did they say it? It was.
Yet Lima,
Wasn't it? Well, Lima's
Yes.
the capital, and didn't
the
they say it was-
capital city,
Didn't they
is
say it was just outside of Lima?
Well, not just outside.
well, it's
Well,
outside.
so okay, sorry. It said outside, not just outside. Capital city. First world amenities, area from upscale things to see and do. Oh, it's just saying how fucking nice Lima is, even though it's a third world country.
So their country is, but the city
But
is
the
not.
city, well, it's probably
So
like
like Hunger
a
Games.
lot of third world countries might have one, like the capital city, might have a bunch of industry because people put money there because maybe it's cheap to manufacture in that country. So there's
when we
money
think of
there.
the third world, we think of Africa.
Yes, I do. Yes,
I do.
I'm pretty sure most people do.
I think of
They think of Africa.
blood diamonds and warlords.
They think
and
of people out in the bush. They think of and that's as soon as you mention tribes, that's one of those things.
When I think of Peru, I think of Incas and Mayans and possibly Aztecs because without looking at a map, I can't figure out where they all belong.
Well,
And I know
Aztecs are the
there's-
Mexican.
Well, Aztecs were in
Right.
Mexico.
Well, they made it down.
Yeah.
Aztecs
I
made
know
it
they-
down. into
Aztecs
South
actually
America.
made it north
El Salvador?
No, it was South America.
That
Huh.
they
I
fought
think
a
it's
proxy
Argentina.
war in.
Argentina, way down here.
It's not Argentina. That's where the Nazis went to hide.
Mm-hmm.
This is
As well as Paraguay, Uruguay.
I was just about to say,
Chile,
pretty much
Brazil.
all
this-
all of this right
All
here.
of this
That's
general
Nazi
area.
right there. That's post-Nazi.
That's far West Germany.
Right. And the
Far west.
and the
Germany.
top countries are just really kind of part of Central America.
Yes.
Right.
Hey,
Well, that or
forget the
yes.
topic then.
Okay.
So what were
You haven't voted.
I would say
Yeah.
we were voting for things, weren't we?
Yeah, and I started, which totally threw
And
you
then I
off.
went to Ben, and then
The witch burning.
Yeah.
I give 2 fucks because I agree with my morals. I don't think you should burn someone alive, but they're a tribe that's off in a remote area in their country. In the story, they said they don't have much contact with police and all the stuff they don't have contact with. The village said we're going to burn this person by a majority
I
vote.
wonder if that's by choice.
What?
That they're
They
so
don't
far
have
away?
much contact.
It's probably by choice.
I'm
I
just
wouldn't be
curious.
surprised. But I give 2 fucks because they chose to do that. They came together as a community and said, we're going to burn that person because they're a witch. Don't agree with it, but that's their right. They can do that.
okay, I'm gonna give 3 fucks, not because of the witch burning. Because like you said, it's their own thing. Let them do whatever the fuck they want.
Mhm.
What the fuck are we? But as where you said, how fallible a democracy, straight democracy can be, mob rules.
So that's a,
basically.
yeah, that's a
That
mob
is-
rule at that
That's
point.
what it is, and how great America is for having a fucking constitution.
That's why we're a
That's
republic,
another-
not a democracy.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are not a
Constitutional
democracy.
republic.
We have never been a democracy.
No. If you like what you just saw, why not check out our last episode? Or subscribe, or like, or comment. Do something. If you like what you just saw, why not check out our last episode?